What's going on? This your boy Town Biz. All right, so I'm not gonna say the gig is up because people like me already knew what was obvious. I mean, you even had LeBron James hint at the fact, but the NBA made it very visible and it's clear as day that the draft is rigged. I mean, it's just no denying that they rigged the draft to where basically Dallas gets first dibs at Cooper Flagg. Now, some people are saying, is Dallas going to trade the pick? I doubt it. They're going to take Cooper Flagg. Okay. So they're going to go really from Dirk to Luca to now Cooper Flagg. And it makes you wonder about the other trade that happened with the Lakers and where Luca went to the Lakers. So Cooper Flagg, 18 years old, 6'9", 200 plus pounds. And Cooper Flagg looked like he could be the goods. Big. Out of Maine. He's out of the state of Maine, 6'9", could eventually, grow to like maybe 6'11", maybe even 7 feet, because he's 18 years old. So he still could grow a few more inches. In all likelihood, he'll probably play in between the 3 and the 4, depending on what the matchup is. But he's gonna be the number 1 overall pick, and he may be exactly what the NBA is looking for: the American-born, white basketball player, because they haven't seen one of them in years. So it's been a while, but he can play. He can play. But the thing about the NBA, we've been saying this for years. The NBA like to play these games, but Adam Silver didn't even try to hide the fact. Dallas' chance of winning the number 1 overall pick was almost slim to none, and then miraculously they get the number 1 overall pick. You know, no fault of Cooper Flagg, but we've been saying this for years that they do this kind of stuff. They've been rigging the draft all the way from when it when it first began in 1985, in which they stole Patrick Ewing from the Golden State Warriors, and where the league fixed it to where and I always had an issue with David Stern because he rigged that draft, and he been rigging that draft for years. And then you go to 93, and you go to 93 coming off 92, where the Orlando Magic got the number 1 pick back-to-back years. Shaquille O'Neal and then Chris Webber. Then you seen back in 2003 with LeBron James. So they've been doing this for a while. But the whole conspiracy about the frozen envelope and or the frozen bent envelope, but this has been going on for a while. Um, this is what they prefer, and this is what they prefer. This is what Mark Cuban and Dallas want: somebody like Cooper Flagg, and that's fine. And Dallas is the type of city you can market somebody like Cooper Flagg in. Now, the thing is, Cooper Flagg had some, health issues, but the thing is with him, um, if he can stay healthy, I think he could be a very good player. He need to put, he need to put on. He's solid as it is. I don't think he need to get super big. He need to probably put on an extra 15 pounds, and I want to see, can he play with his back to the basket? I want to see, can he pound the paint? You know, but he has decent speed to him. He's athletic enough. He's about as athletic as Tim Duncan. He ain't a super jump out the building leaper, but he is 6'9". So I do think he can be an efficient player. Now, the impact he's gonna make immediately where he joins Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, we'll just have to see. But yeah, it was so obvious. It was so obvious that that draft was rigged. But keep in mind, Donald Sterling, when they forced him out of Los Angeles, when they forced him to sell his ownership stake in the Clippers, he said he had dirt on the NBA, and he said he had proof that they were rigging drafts. But Adam Silver has said some things where he kind of lets you know that they kind of want to control and dictate the outcome of certain things, and that they don't like certain series going certain ways. I don't think they like the idea of the Lakers get knocked out in the first round, um, and that's just a problem. The Warriors are about to be sent home. It's just no need to even bring Stephen Curry back. Even if he could play in Game 5, this series is pretty much over. And then we had a return to Michael Jordan, which I'm going to talk about all that. But I will be watching. I will be keeping track of the draft and everything. I may talk about the draft depending on what time it happens and where I'm at. But I am gonna keep track of this particular draft. But yeah, a lot is riding on Cooper Flagg for certain people. So I think at this time, I think the NBA kind of want to play into um, a, a certain demographics now with Cooper Flagg, and let's just keep it a buck. No, I mean, no knock on him. He can't help what color he is, but at the end of the day, they want to market the great white American basketball player. They like Jokic, but he's not American. Dirk was one of the best that ever played, but he wasn't American. Luka, once again, he's not American. They like the dude that's born in the States, and that's just the bottom line. Truth is truth. And I'm telling you right now, they're gonna put a marketing machine uh, around Cooper. And if I'm not mistaken, he has a shoe deal already. I think he's with New Balance, but we'll see. You know what? I'm gonna talk about that later on. I've been hearing some stuff about that the Warriors about to make some moves. Jimmy Butler appears to have already kind of like checked out. He just don't want to be the dude to try to get the Warriors over the hump. If he was with Stephen Curry, he would be pitching in, but he just don't like the spotlight being on him. But we'll talk about that later on. But anyway, I got to start my shift. I'm out.